Senator Hume.
Thank you very much, Madam Deputy President. I have to admit I'm terribly disappointed again today in the pursuit of this particular issue. Now, we had some really good questions today in question time, so different from the end of last year. Senator Carr was talking about industry policy, Senator Collins was talking about education policy, Senator Seward was talking about the Omnibus Savings Bill. You know, there were some real opportunities there for this part of the Chamber's proceedings to get into the guts of actually what's going on, of what makes government tick. But instead we are talking about the same issue that we spoke about yesterday, the same issue that Senator Sterle banged on about yesterday endlessly. And here we are again. And Senator Ketter, I have so much respect for Senator Ketter. We work very closely together on the Economics Committee, and I have great respect for both his opinions and his approach. But this is not an issue, I believe, that he should be speaking about in this chamber. To begin with, as we established yesterday, this is an issue for state divisions of the Liberal Party. It was a decision of the state executive. It had absolutely nothing to do with any single member in this chamber. It is entirely the state division's prerogative. It's entirely the state division's prerogative. Nothing to do with anyone in this room. The Liberal Party and the National Party, as I understand, while they're preferencing each other, they'll be preferencing each other in every lower house seat. It's only the upper house seats where this preferencing deal will occur, and it's not uncommon. It's not uncommon at all for the National Party to preference one nation. Indeed, the National Party have preferenced one nation ahead of the Liberal Party in the 2008 state election, and as was well discussed and well covered yesterday in this chamber, the WA situation is very unique. The Liberal Party and the National Party are two separate parties. And yes, we work very closely in coalition, and we work very closely in coalition in many states, my own state of Victoria included, but WA doesn't have that arrangement. WA's situation is entirely unique. It is entirely unique. The Liberal Party and the National Party are not in coalition in Western Australia. They're in alliances for the purpose of forming a government, but they are not in coalition. There have been occasions in the past, and again, I highlight 2008, where the National Party in Australia has in the upper house in fact preferenced one nation ahead of the Liberal Party, and these are decisions made by the state division of the political parties, and they depend on the political circumstances of the time. But I can assure you that the Liberal Party in Western Australia is determined. To make sure that the Labor government, that there is no Labor government in WA. I find this extraordinary, the hypocrisy of this conversation in this chamber. Yesterday, Senator Hanson pointed out the incredible hypocrisy of Senator Chisholm. I mean, it was poetry in motion, that he, having been a previous state secretary, had also undergone preference arrangements or tried to undergo deals with one nation. And it must have been so embarrassing, I think, for those opposite to have that pointed out to them, and there was nothing left to say. And at the same time, again, this incredible hypocrisy that the ALP will quite happily undergo Greens preferencing arrangements. The Greens, that unquestionably will accept the Labor Party will unquestionably accept Greens preferences and does deals with Greens, who are in fact have a view of the world that we believe is far more dangerous. They want to tear up the US-Australia alliance. They want to shut down all energy security in Australia. There's possibly the most dangerous political train of thought, and yet those opposite will happily accept preference deals from the Green. But more importantly, and I think that this has not been discussed, is that the senators from one nation have demonstrated over and over again their commitment to consistently vote with this coalition government on matters of budget repair and on matters of economic importance. They have not only that, but they have behaved the entire time that they have been here with decorum. They have behaved with basic good manners. They have behaved with respect for other senators. They have behaved with professionalism and respect for this chamber, and dare I say that is so much more than those opposite have done. And this question time was merely one example of that, was merely one example of the disrespect shown to fellow senators and to others in this chamber and to the chamber itself.